I want to share with you the entire process of researching, creating, and finally selling a Mother's Day t-shirt this year. And I have a 4-step video planned out. Step 1 is research. Step 2 is design. Step 3 is uploading. And step 4 is potentially advertising if that is something you want to do. This is a super cool video. It's really detailed, but it's not too long. It's straight to the point. So definitely stay until the end because I really feel like you're gonna love it. Starting with step 1, niche research. So we've got to actually do some research and find some potential ideas just to garner some inspiration so that we can, design our own kind of things. Now, what we're looking for here is something with multiple levels of targeting. And the reason for that is, well, I'm going to tell you at the end of this video, but just trust me, we're looking for something with multiple levels of targeting. So let's get some inspiration and see if we can kind of adapt what we see to our own ideas. So this first idea that I really liked was super mum, super nurse, super tired. I thought it was really funny. It's so annoying that Redbubble show a guy wearing it as well. I wish you could turn that off. It kind of puts someone off. It makes it just look really fake, but whatever. We're not talking about that now, but I mean, this guy does look like a super mum. He looks like a super mum. But anyways, I thought this was a really good t-shirt, and the reason I liked it is because you've got 2 levels of targeting. You've got nurse and you've got mum. Now, as well as that, you can relate this shirt to many different job titles. So super mum, super something else, super tired. It doesn't have to be super nurse. So this is why I like this, because you can not only, create this and sell it throughout the year because it's not specifically Mother's Day. And this is something Ryan was saying. If you haven't seen Ryan Hoag's video, he was saying, don't make a t-shirt that says Mother's Day on it because you're limiting yourself to the day of Mother's Day. If you just, do a generic mum t-shirt, you can sell it throughout the year. And that was just a stroke of genius right there. So I fully agree. As well as just being able to sell, this kind of t-shirt, you can sell it with 50, 60, 70 other job titles. There are so many. Super mum, super dentist, super tired, Super mum, super vet, super tired. There are so many ideas that you can sell with this kind of design. Now, the next one I kind of liked was this one. Mums are like buttons, they hold everything together. I thought that was really cute, and you can kind of adapt this to, mums are like glue, mums are like sellotape, mums are like, there's so many different things. You can even say mums are like buttons, but just these kind of ideas I really like the look of. So the way I liked finding these ideas is just searching Mother's Day t-shirt in Etsy, in Google, in Redbubble. So for example, if we search Mother's Day, well, firstly, Mother's Day is first Mother's Day, and my first Mother's Day as a mum is trending. So that's a cool design as well, but that's very specific to Mother's Day, right? Let me search Mother's Day t-shirt, and then, right, for some reason we're getting all of these. This is because people are spamming the hell out of the keyword Mother's Day t-shirt. Vintage 1971, just do it later. Not only is that copyright, you got the Nike tick, it's got nothing to do with Mother's Day. So this person has literally just put the keyword Mother's Day in their tags. Oh, it annoys me so much when people do that. But anyways, you can't scare me, I have 2 daughters. That is a great design, and you can do this. You can't scare me, I have 3 daughters. You can't scare me, I have 3 sons. You can't scare me, I have 2 daughters and a son. Like, there are so many different iterations of this potential design that you could do. So that's just another really cool potential idea. So moving on now, right, we're going to move on to the next phase, which is actually creating something. Just before moving on to step 2, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It does wonders, and hopefully it will help me get to 50,000 subscribers. So I just want to say thank you for smashing that like button, and now let's get straight into step 2. Now in step 2, we're going to be checking the database, we're going to be finding graphics if we need graphics, and we're going to be actually creating the design. But before we can create something, we have to check that our chosen design that we want to do has not been taken or copyrighted or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the Uspto site, and because we're only selling this design in America, we're not really bothered about other trademarks in other countries. We're just worried about the copyright in America. So we're going to go over here and we're going to click search our trademark database. The design I'm going to be designing in this video is going to be coffee, more coffee, mum, repeat. Now, this is a play on eat, sleep, mum, repeat, or eat, sleep, anything, repeat. And I wanted to originally do eat, sleep, mum, repeat, but I thought that wasn't very specific. It's very broad, and I feel like we can make it slightly funnier, slightly more targeted. So coffee, more coffee, mum, repeat. It's just kind of saying, it's tiring, there's a lot to do. You just needed a lot of coffee. So that's kind of like why I wanted to go for that design. Now, the other reason why I wanted to go for that design is because it doesn't require much graphic knowledge or graphic skills. You could literally do a text-based design that just says coffee, more coffee, mum, repeat, and that would be absolutely fine, right? I don't want you to have to build this insane piece of artwork, because that just makes it more complicated, more time-consuming, and not everyone has the capabilities to be able to do that. Another potential one was going to be coffee in the morning, wine in the evening. Another really easy one. It doesn't have to say mum on it. It doesn't have to say Mother's Day, but it just relates perfectly. And if you target Mother's Day and you use the keyword Mother's Day, because it is related, it's not like selling a Nike t-shirt on Mother's Day. It's not like doing what we just saw on Redbubble, right? It is actually related, and that also doesn't require too much graphic skills, and it's kind of funny if you think so. I mean, you might not, I don't know, but the point is it's easy to design, and it does relate to mothers. So let's start with just doing a basic word search on the USPTO website. We're going to do coffee, more coffee, spelling that right, mum, spell this all wrong, my gosh, my spelling is awful, don't judge me on my spelling. All right, submit. And hopefully, there we go, no records found, which means we can do this design, no problem. So we're going to create this on Canva. We'll start with a simple text, and then I'm going to head over to Vexels to see if they have any cool related graphics. However, with this type of design, graphics aren't necessary at all. So let's put in custom sizes of 5,400 by 4,500. Sorry, was that the wrong way around? That was the wrong way around. 5,400 by 4,500. Let's click create new design, and this should be perfect for Amazon, and it should work for other platforms as well. Now we're going to just put the text in very quickly, and we're going to get back to designing in a second. So we're going to do coffee, let's copy and paste this, more coffee. Don't worry, this is not my design, this is just laying the basic foundations. Mum, and make sure, by the way, you spell mum in the American way, not the English way, because of course, we're aiming for America here. All right, this is kind of, the wording I'm going to use. Obviously, I'm going to put commas in there maybe. I'm going to spice up the fonts and the colors, but this is the wording. Now, what I like to do is I like to go over to Vexels. You might not have access to Vexels. Personally, I think Vexels is one of the best resources for print on demand. I think the designers are the best in-house designers of any platform ever. And I mean, it's just, there's so much there. There is so many graphics, designs, vectors, everything for you to use. And I just think it's absolutely brilliant. So I would highly recommend getting Vexels. And if you want, the link is in the description. But even if, you don't want Vexels, you can still kind of just go on the website and browse just to get some ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for coffee, just to see if I can get any sort of ideas of potential graphics that I might want to put in this design. So scrolling through, we've got, like, that's a cool one. We can get rid of the donut and just use the coffee. That's a funny one, a coffee bean with a dabbing. Right, we've got, that's funny. But there's a whole bunch here, right? Now, I think for this design, I'm going to just keep it very straightforward. What I might do is I might use some of this, like for example, coffee types. I might use that in an Instagram post or a Facebook post or a story, or potentially even like a TikTok or an advertisement, just because this can lead to a funny coffee mum t-shirt, right? So this is another reason why I like using Vexels, not just for t-shirts, but for, everything, the marketing, I can make that for a Pinterest post, for example. Now I'm really liking this font every day. I'm really liking that. Okay, so we've had a look at Vexels just to get some ideas. We're now going to go back to Canva and actually create the design. Now I have Canva Premium. Now the reason I like Canva Premium is because of, if you go to Elements, I love the huge, literally I think there's like 70,000+ graphics here. Now they're not graphics like Vexels, they're different kind of graphics. Vexels are I want to say like t-shirt graphics, whereas I use Canva more for like Instagram, Pinterest, stuff like that. But occasionally I might use them for t-shirts. Now, another reason why I like the Canva Premium is because of the fonts. You can see all of these little crowns, right? That means it's only for premium. And it just so happens that the premium fonts on Canva are so good. And that is why I use it. That's the one reason I think it's worth it to spend the money using it. Funnily enough, I think I might go for this font, which is not even premium. But either way, that's the reason why I use Canva Premium. Now let's get on with actually creating the design. So let's change all the fonts to this and see what we can do. I'm probably gonna just time lapse this design creation just so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but you don't have to actually, you don't actually have to do it if you don't want to. Now this is, I would say, an okay design. It's nothing special. In fact, I don't like it massively. You might absolutely hate it. The colors are a bit too bright. I don't know if it needs commas, but the point is, it's bright, it's cheerful, it's trying to, display something funny, something happy, and that's what I'm going for. So this kind of design, I would do it on a white t-shirt, a black t-shirt, multiple colors really. Obviously not any of these colors because I don't want to hide the actual color of the words. But I would put that on a few different t-shirts and make sure it's for a mum t-shirt, a female t-shirt, or a male t-shirt. Sometimes they're a bit different. And as well as that, a hoodie. Now this, like I said, is a very simple design. It took me a couple of minutes to create. No graphics were needed, no fancy fonts were needed, no fancy anything was needed for that matter. And sometimes the most simple design sells. So what I would say to you is, and my piece of advice would be, don't overthink it. If you have an idea, just put it down on paper, see what it looks like, and you know what? It might be okay. Sometimes I get sent in the most complicated, crazy designs, and you just don't need it. Sometimes it just works amazingly just to have text. And I know some people hate that. Some people hate it when, a designer sometimes doesn't like it when someone comes along with a text-based design and sells tons of them, right? Because they put so much time in their own designs. They're like, this is not fair. But truth be told, selling a text-based design is one of the most popular types of things to do. So it makes sense to just try and do this, and it allows you to sell more and more and more designs. If we wanted, we could kind of add some form of graphics to it. For example, we could do something like this. This could be just, a way to kind of spice it up, add some graphics, make it slightly funnier, slightly more unique, and slightly more illustrative. You've got a heart for mum, repeat is the repeat, and then you've got coffee and more coffee. Very, very simple. I just found the graphics here in Vexels, here in Canva, and just dragging them in. Very, very simple to make. I can click download, make sure to click transparent background. Now I think this is also, this is only if you have premium. If you don't have premium, you can just download it and use another website to remove the background. But I would click transparent background and I would download. Simple as that, right? And now I can go on to the next step. Step 3 is posting it to different pod websites. So we all know that, it's around the corner, 9th of May in America, and not all pod sites can deliver so quickly. And I actually made a video on this on Friday telling you how long each print-on-demand company takes to ship out a product. Well, in this video, I'm just going to quickly tell you those companies so you can just get right on it. So I would recommend posting on Amazon if you're able to, Etsy with a Printful integration, Redbubble, Teechip, and TeePublic. Those 5 companies are all able to deliver your product within 10 days. And because in America, Mother's Day is on the 9th of May, that gives you enough time to start getting some sales. Now, I would also recommend uploading to your own sites if you have them. So Shopify, Xero, WooCommerce, anything really, and you can integrate with Printful, and I would highly recommend doing that, especially because the last step in this phase is advertising, and if that is something you want to do, it's always best to send that to your own website where your profit margins will be the highest. Step 4, advertising with Facebook. You could advertise with other platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok. For now, we're just going to look at different targeting types for Facebook. You don't have to do this step, you can skip it entirely. I just wanted to add it to the video so that you could have a bit more knowledge on the advertising process and the way I kind of think for the whole process of finding a design, creating a design, and advertising a design. All right. Now, with advertising, you want to only advertise on specific websites. So, for example, I just listed all the different websites that you should post it to if you want it to get delivered in time. But when it comes to advertising, you kind of only want to advertise on your website or potentially on Etsy, because those two platforms will have the largest profit margins. So that's why it makes more sense to advertise on those platforms. Whereas with Redbubble, for example, you've only got maybe a $2 or $3 profit margin. So advertising with to Redbubble, you're not going to make any money. That's why I recommend doing it to your website. So this is Facebook ads. And obviously we're going to do locations, United States, ages 18 to 65. Ages doesn't really matter so much. Genders, now this is it. Do you want to target the mothers or do you want to target the fathers? This is where it's going to get hard. Personally, I like targeting both and testing two different ads. But the reason I like targeting mothers is because they will tag their husbands, they will tag their children, they will tag their other mother friends, right? And once everyone is tagging everyone, the husbands will see that their wife tagged, someone, even if they don't tag themselves. When a husband is scrolling through Facebook, they can see when their wife interacts on a post, right? It will say, your wife commented on this post. They'll see it and it could be like, oh, let's buy them this t-shirt, right? So that's why I like targeting mothers. But then you could also target fathers. So let's just say, we're targeting men, right? So now we've got an audience of 110 million, right? United States, 1865 men. Now let's browse the detailed targeting and let's go demographics, parents, all parents, and then parents all. This should take it down a bit more to 13 million people. It's quite a lot of people, right? And now the next thing we want to do is click narrow audience just over here, right? And now we can make it slightly more targeted. So we want to put coffee in. Now this is why I like targeting the mothers, because at the moment, if we put different types of coffee in, we are targeting fathers who like coffee. That does not mean the mothers like coffee, right? So for example, the father might see this shirt and be like, oh, this is cute. But then they'll be like, but my wife hates coffee, so this doesn't relate to her. Whereas if we're targeting mothers who like coffee, well, they 100% like coffee. It doesn't matter if the husband likes coffee or not. And via their tagging method and their commenting and their liking, husbands, children, and friends will see that they've interacted with that post and hopefully buy it for them, right? And that makes more sense because then a husband will see the post and be like, my wife loves coffee. I'm going to get her this t-shirt. That's how you kind of have to think about it. So what we could do is we could put in generic keywords just like coffee, right? I know it says no results found, but something will come up, right? And this is obviously going to be huge. You then got coffee maker, coffee taster, coffee roaster, coffee house, coffee bean, and you can see the audience sizes up here on the right. So this one, 630 million, 26,000. Now you can also put types of coffee in. Espresso, for example, one of the most famous types of coffee, 78 million. You've got espresso machine, Le Espresso, Cuban espresso. So you've got all these different types of things. You then got types of machines like DeLonghi, which, I know they make other types of machines, but they also make coffee machines. So you've got all these different types. Now, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but I'm sure there's coffee magazines, there's coffee blogs, coffee websites, specific coffee brands that a coffee fanatic would like. I've said coffee way too many times in the last 10 seconds. But my point being is try a bit of different targeting and keep narrowing it so it gets more and more targeted. So let's start with espresso. Okay, we're going to put espresso in. We're then going to narrow the audience even further. Right, we've got 610,000, and now we're going to put in. Let's just put in generic coffee. Right, see what happens. This should take it a bit lower. 510,000. Still quite a lot of people. Let's narrow it further, and we can put in a latte. I don't know. I don't know coffee so well, as you could probably tell from my lack of coffee knowledge. But now it's gone to 190,000 people. Boom. That is a good audience size, 190,000 people. We can create an ad for that audience size and start getting some sales. The type of ads we want to potentially do are page post engagement ads, which are just, an engagement ad where you're paying for likes, comments, that kind of stuff, shares. And then you can also do a link to website ad where you're paying for actual people to click your link, go to the site, have a look at the t-shirt. That's usually more expensive, so you're usually paying more per click for that one, just because it's, more chances of it converting. So I like to actually run both ads simultaneously. How much do I like to spend, you might be asking? Well, depending on how many ads I'm running, I like to kind of not spend too much. Maybe I have a $50 budget over 2 to 4 ads. So either I'm spending, about $15 each, maybe a bit less, like $12.50 if I want to actually get to the $50, right? And that way, for example, targeting mothers who like coffee, $12.50, right? Targeting fathers who like coffee, $12.50. And then kind of changing up different audiences, another $12.50 and another $12.50. That way I've got 4 ads running, right? Potentially maybe 2 of the ads are engagement ads, 2 of the ads are clicks to website ads, and then I can really get a full picture of which ad is doing the best. Now, none of the ads I should say, might get any sales, and that's totally okay. But what I'm going to be looking at is how cheap the ads were and how well people engage with it. And out of those 4 ads, after like a day or 2, I will go in and pick the best performing ad, keep that running for another day, maybe 2 more days. If I don't get any sales, then fine, I'll move on. But if I get sales, I will ramp up those ads, put more money in them, and kind of make another ad targeting the same thing, but maybe make it slightly broader. So add 1 more interest, so the audience is maybe 100,000 more people. That's what I would do. Now, obviously you don't have to do the same thing. You can do something completely different. You can skip out this advertising step entirely. That's totally okay. I just wanted to put it in the video so you can get a whole round picture of, what you can do with a specific day of the year with creating a design, finding a design, and advertising design. That's what I kind of wanted to show you in today's video. Those would be the 4 steps to creating, designing, and selling a Mother's Day t-shirt. And I hope this video was helpful. And I mean, at the end of the day, I hope it just gave you some ideas, either some niche ideas, some t-shirt ideas, some targeting ideas, because that is what I wanted for this video. Good luck for Mother's Day this year. And I just want to quickly say, like Ryan said, try to keep the t-shirts a bit broad. Don't make them say Mother's Day. And that way, hopefully, you'll get sales throughout the year. So that was a brilliant idea from Ryan. It's so smart. But anyways, so just try and make sure you do that. And that way, after the 9th of May, you could still be getting sales from people just buying for their mother's birthday or just randomly or whatever it may be. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video.